smoking, it's a revolution. Shots to your head, it's an execution. It's being us versus the corrupt. Red dot, put a cross to your head. Let the Lord interrupt. Gun smoking, it's a revolution. Shots to your head, it's an execution.
Yeah,
I need to listen to that full song, dude, because I only remember like the intro part.
just the chorus.
Yeah.
The intro.
What is going on, Mr. Don Welch? We are the Liberty Goons. I am one of your hosts. My name is John from To a Patriot Ranch. You know me from the pew pew pew. And to the other side here, my co-host, Mr. Don Welch. You know him from the sick, what I call you, country rap grunge beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the above.
The dirty stuff. The dirty.
Stuff.
Welcome back to the Liberty Goons podcast. This is episode number 7. Do you think there's going to be a point where we forget which episode we're on?
I know, it's crazy. Have we been marking them?
They're all marked.
Yeah, they're all marked, right?
Yeah.
So we shouldn't forget unless we just have a stupid moment.
Unless we drink too much.
Yeah. Episode 77.
Oh, man. We are back after a little hiatus. It's been about a week away from you guys. Sorry we didn't get out 2 episodes last week. We both had stuff going on and called the thing that is life. Don sliced up his hand real nice and good there. But he's a trooper. He just can't jerk off now, but he's a trooper.
Gotta do the old lefty.
The old lefty. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Don, I'm going to jump in and open us off here tonight with our opening. It's crazy. As Americans, we've gotten so comfortable in our routines and daily lives. But there's a sobering truth on the horizon that America is woefully unprepared for another world war. We've kind of grown accustomed to our conflicts being fought off in like distant lands, Iraq, Afghanistan, and only by a small fraction of our population. But a true world war, that's something entirely different. An all-encompassing struggle that would touch pretty much every aspect of our life. The grim reality is that we've become complacent as an American society. Our infrastructure is aging and vulnerable. Our population is divided, distracted by, stupid petty squabbles and social media feuds. And perhaps the most concerning of all, we've lost the collective will and shared sense of purpose, that we had through past conflicts. One of the other most concerning things is our collective psyche. We've grown accustomed to instant gratification, to comfort and conveniences. The idea of true sacrifice, of rationing, of dedicating years of our lives to a national cause, it almost seems alien to most of us. The greatest generation, if you want to call them that, they faced hardship with stoicism and determination. Can we say the same thing about ourselves right now? Moreover, our military, while technologically advanced, is stretched super thin. We've been engaged in long-term conflicts with volunteer forces, but a world war would require, a national mobilization on a scale that we haven't seen in decades, generations. Are we prepared for a draft, for converting our industries to wartime production, for the economic upheaval that would follow that? Make no mistake, these things are real. These threats are real and they are growing. But are we ready to make the sacrifices necessary to face them? To ration our resources, to set aside our differences, and to once again become the arsenal of democracy? And unfortunately, I think the answer is no. And that should definitely give us all pause. For if the unthinkable happens, we may find ourselves rudely awakened to just how truly unprepared we are.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my opening for the night, on a somber note, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, but a much needed note, man. I mean, you look at today with all these Gen Z kids, you can turn on the news, turn on TikTok. I mean, there's no sense of pride in America anymore. I mean, we can talk about the Olympics. We're going to talk about that later today too. There is no sense of American pride. I mean, the greatest generation, that World War II generation, those people fought and died for what they believed in and American values, American culture. And
Mm-hmm.
we no longer have it. We
No.
no longer have it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not fighting for the leftist next door to me. I probably wouldn't. If I'm being quite clear with you, like there's no doubt. I'm not fighting for you. Now, if it comes to a war, an internal war in America, I would be all for it. But like, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to go die for you, and you're not willing to go die for this country and die for our American values, our Constitution, or freedom of religion, our right to bear arms, our freedom of speech. No, and the thing is even if these people were to get drafted, I don't want to be next to them in a trench. There's no way.
No, and that's something that when you're in the military, for the most part, that the guy next to you, they got your back.
Yeah,
and you got their back.
We have a bunch of traitors in this country. I mean, these people would sell out their own Americans if they thought that they had a better chance to survive on the opposite side.
Of course they would.
Yeah,
they definitely would.
I mean, even our politicians today would do that, and they are doing it.
They sell us out on the regular. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
we're
not in a good
unprepared.
position.
We are not. We are not in a good position. Before we jump into the weekly updates, it is 10:24 at night here, and I am fucking old. So I'm gonna drop an old stiff lips up in my mouth. Fruity Flex, 300 milligrams of natural caffeine. Normally I'm drinking an energy drink, but the guys over at Stiff Lip set these out, and they are delicious. And so I'm gonna pop one of these in. We'll do it behind the mic so nobody can see.
And while he's popping that in, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment on here. Make sure you ring the bell for us so we can keep growing the Liberty Goons podcast. If you guys don't know, I work until super late at night and then come home and try to do this for you. John's super busy guy, but we love doing this. We love giving you guys content and giving you guys all the great, crazy political information that's out in the world and giving our viewpoints on it. From citizens that really care. So,
yeah, man. I feel like all I do is create content these days. That's pretty much what I do. I do it all for you guys.
John is officially a content creator.
I'm officially a content creator full time right now. Yeah, let's jump into our weekly update. And you mentioned kind of a prelude to it, but the Olympic Games. Man, you and I were talking earlier. I haven't religiously watched the Olympics in years. My mom was always a big fan, so we would watch in the household growing up. But I think the last time like I really watched the Olympics is when Michael Phelps was swimming. I think that was like the last time that I was like into it. Unfortunately, those were like some of the years that the USA basketball team actually sucked too. But
yeah, they were terrible those years.
It was bad. And I definitely haven't watched an opening ceremony in probably 2 decades. And so it was unfortunate that as I was doing my normal Twitter, I was about to say strolling, but I'll call it trolling, the other night, and Twitter was a blast with pictures and videos from this opening ceremony. I know a few of the things that stood out to us was the sacrilegious display of the Last Supper by a bunch of trannies and
I was gonna say some
fat people and
fat she thing.
and the odd like pedophilia that was like sprinkled in there. Like there was a little girl that was up there dancing with all these freaking weirdos. There was the white horse.
Yeah. The apocalyptic horse.
The apocalyptic horse. There was the beheaded Antoinette. Just and fire and just I hate when people talk about like satanic stuff in society right now. There is no denying what that was. There is absolutely no denying what it was, and it absolutely disgusted me. And I probably would have watched a little bit of men's and women's basketball, and I might have watched a little bit of gymnastics or something. Those girls are super talented, like freaking crazy talented. I don't know how they do that shit. I can guarantee you now that I will not watch 1 minute of these Olympics.
No, I mean, as soon as I saw that stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not watching the Olympics, which is sad. And I was telling you earlier, me and John were talking on the phone, and I said, brother, like, this is the best that America has to offer. And I'm not talking about just like, yeah, sure, some of these people are really athletic, but just like, God, this is who represents America. These people are clowns. Straight up clowns. Everybody from, all the way to LeBron James, like holding the American flag, going over the boat, supposed to be looking like George Washington, can't hold the flag right, stumbling all over themselves. The way that they were dressed, I mean, it's just, it was so bad. Like I was just cringing the whole entire time watching it. We look like buffoons.
Yeah, as a world, we look like buffoons with that display. Not only just the United States, and one of the themes across Twitter was a lot of people from France getting on and saying, "World, we apologize to you. This is not what we're about. This is not what our society is like." And it's the same thing we deal with here in the U.S. when we're displaying this kind of crap. That's not what we're about either. Not that what we want to be.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's weird to me. Like I was telling you even earlier, it's like they're like, oh no, this is part of our history, and like this is like anti-war protest, like depictions. I'm like, bro, if what, like, where, like, I mean, you literally had some fat tranny with the Halo Angel, Last Supper looking stuff. I mean, there wasn't one thing. I don't care, like, if this was some type of supposed depiction, like, you guys purposely knew what you guys were doing. They purposely
anybody watching that knew what was going on. And for Jill Biden to come out and say how amazing it was, like, as a Catholic, disgusting. Well,
bro, I mean, the Catholics are no longer Catholics anymore, unfortunately. I hate to say it, but like even the Pope, man, Pope is it Pope Francis? Yeah, Pope Francis. Is that correct?
I think that's who that.
I mean, even he had weird trainees dancing on him not too long ago, and it just like, I don't know what's going on, man. It's so sacrilegious, and these are supposed to be the people that everyone looks up to. I'm not just talking about the Pope. I mean, I'm talking about, and I'm a Christian, so I'm not anti-Catholic people or anything like that.
Yeah, me either.
I'm just saying, like, clearly when evil stuff is done, I don't care who it's from, like, I'm going to call it out. And, bro, I mean, these are the people that we're supposed to look up to, and our children are supposed to look up to and aspire to be. And this is sad. I wouldn't want my child to look up to one of these human beings.
If I would have been a child watching that, my parents would have turned it off. There's no way in hell they would have let me watch that.
Oh yeah, no, my parents either. There's no fucking way in hell. The times have changed so drastic, and I hate to say it that that the millennial age group that's having children that are 12, 13 years old have absolutely destroyed America.
Yeah, and they don't understand the responsibility they have with their kids. I mean, technically millennials could have kids that are all the way up into their 20s now.
20s now. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I saw it in my previous, life of really kind of trying to mold and guide some of these kids that work for me. And they're just off. They're off track. They're off base because their parents aren't even giving them the stuff they need. Or if they're trying, they're just getting circumvented by the school systems and by teachers that are doing the same crap that we saw on the Olympic Open ceremony. You remember seeing that teacher that was all in the news that had the fake breasts like a couple like last year, and
the dude.
Yeah, the dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just absolutely disgusting, man.
These crazy blue-haired teachers that are bawling their eyes out and like screaming crap. It's just,
even here in Texas and Georgetown, they were, they had like a teacher. I want to say professor because I'm thinking college, but it was a high school teacher that was like condemning God in her classroom, and there was video footage of it. So it's just like, it's disgusting. It's like, bro, I don't care if you don't believe in God, but like to be like that in a classroom in front of people,
there's no place for it.
There's no place for that. Like, just keep all that stuff out of the classroom. Like I always say, man, you're supposed to be learning English, math, reading, science, history. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah. And you know what? As a Christian, I would love for the entire class to pray before they go, but I understand that that's not everybody's background.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to force that on everyone. As much as I would like it, I understand that that's not inclusive.
But maybe that's been our problem. Maybe that's been our problem, and maybe that's why
we should have pushed from the other side.
We should have pushed harder from the other side, and I think that's what they did, and it's like, I don't know why we didn't do that. And everybody's like,
because we're decent fucking people.
Everybody's like, oh, the Christians push, and the pro-Americans push, and it's like, dude, we've sat back and listened to you guys with all your crazy, insane shit for the past 8 fucking years, 12 fucking years, since I was in college when Obama like just became president. I mean, it's just been an insane shit fest since then. It hasn't slowed down.
No.
I don't know, man. We're in a bad spot, like you said in the beginning of this. I mean, you couldn't have said that little monologue any better than what you did. I mean, we're in a weird time in America where we don't care about the American flag. We don't care about American values. We don't care about our neighbors next door. Everything has to be, and if you're gay, I don't care. I mean, whatever, but everything's got to be gay and flaunted in front of children now. Which is just not the place. And it's so fucking weird. I can't even put it into words how strange this all is to me. And now it's like the norm in society, and eventually it's going to end.
It's going to end ugly.
And what's going to happen. And it's going to end very ugly. And I don't think people realize how bad it is. And
there's going to be a lot of angry dads.
Or you have all these people that are screaming for socialism, screaming for communism. And I'm like, the Democrat Socialist parties, the AOCs, I'm like, you guys have no idea what socialism brings. Everybody thinks of socialism as Sweden. Bro, Sweden has 1.2 million people in it, and they have, better Second Amendment rights than the state of California and New York does. And they're based, their whole value is very Swedish. They actually have a culture, and they don't want people to interfere with their culture. It's very different than us. Yeah, they have some socialism economically, but I mean, they still are very capitalist. And to be honest with you, bro, we're living in a socialist country at this point in time. If the states taxing you 20%, the federal government's taxing you 25%. I mean, dude, you're at a 45% tax rate just there all by itself, where, bro, Sweden is like 35% tax rate. So we're way beyond what socialism is at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, that's actually a good segue. We'll jump ahead and then jump back here, is that Democratic socialism is just a disguise for actual socialism and communism. And if you want any clue as to how that would turn out for us, just take a look at Venezuela right now, tonight.
Perfect.
Take a look at Venezuela.
Yeah.
You have we'll just call him a supreme dictator because that's what it's turning out to be. But Nicolas Maduro, who by all accounts has lost the Venezuelan presidential election in a landslide, has hidden the results, refuses to release them, and has declared himself the winner by default.
That's essentially what the Democrats did.
Yes, that
Just
is essentially
hide everything.
Essentially what they did. Just they were a little better at
hiding it,
covering it up, hiding it, whatever you want to call it there. The more we strip away our rights, the more stuff like this will happen.
Yeah.
The more that you allow your rights to be eroded, the more you have the possibility of something like this happen. There's 2 lessons I posted on my Instagram last night. I think I might have posted on Liberty Goons as well. Venezuelans are learning that you can vote your way into socialism, but you'll have to shoot your way out of it.
Facts.
2 lessons here. 1, don't vote for socialists. 2, don't give up your guns.
Yeah, 100%. Never.
And this is just like I hate to say because I feel bad for the Venezuelan people, but I'm kind of glad this is happening. On one hand, God, that sounds horrible to say, but I just mean that in the sense of like, wake up, people.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up. This is happening in a country because they voted in socialists.
Brother, let me explain this to the crowd here. Okay, in America, everybody's so anti-constitutionalist right now because they're all fucking retards. Like, point blank retards. The constitutional rights or your rights, meaning government, hands the fuck off. These are we the people's rights you can't touch, And people are like, oh, we don't need to they're your rights, you fucking retards. They think that it's like control of the government. No. These are your rights, controlling the government to, hey, hands the fuck off. But Americans are so stupid and they've been so brainwashed. You ask somebody about the Constitution, they can't even tell you what the rights even fucking mean, except maybe the First Amendment. And then if you talk to some crazy gun controller, they'll talk about how the Second Amendment shouldn't exist. Bro, it's your rights. Your rights. All people in America's fucking rights.
They wouldn't ratify the Constitution without the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
The representative said, we're not finalizing this shit until we add this stuff in there.
Yeah, and then you see this with the Democrats now. They want to get rid of the Supreme Court. They want to give them, they want to give them terms. Motherfuckers, why the fuck doesn't Congress have terms? Why the fuck doesn't the Senate have fucking terms?
Yeah, I mean, this coming from the career politician Joe Biden, and he's telling people that we need to have terms.
And Nancy Pelosi, who's been in there for fucking 50 years, fucking Joe Biden, who's been in there for 40 years. I mean, these people.
That's a charade.
These people, and the Democrats are so stupid. The leftists, I always say this about Democrats, brother. They flirt with socialism and communism. So Democrats will be like, you don't even know what a socialist is. You don't even know what a communist is. It's like, motherfucker, you guys are flirting with all spectrums of socialism.
I use the words interchangeably.
Interchangeable at this point because
I know they're different things, but you are exactly right.
Because they swerve into every single aspect of socialism and communism at this point.
Yep.
And it's crazy. Why would you want the government to have full control of the people? Like, you have to be completely brain dead to vote Democrat. You have to be a complete fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't get it. I've been trying to figure it out. I have an ex that's been posting stuff like that lately, and like I've just had to bite my tongue because I'm like, why would you
She's an expert for a reason.
Yeah. Well, the other day she's talking about Chevron. I'm like, why would you want to give deference to the government? Like, what are you?
Unelected bureaucrats.
Unelected bureaucrats. Like, come on. But yeah, if you see the next communist that you see marching down your street, tell them, have you checked the news today? Do you know what's going on in Venezuela?
I thought you were going to tell them to pop smoke.
Yeah, I mean, you can pop smoke, but you know, obviously, guys, I live in Miami, kind of a mishmash of culture here. A lot of Venezuelans, and so I have some Venezuelan friends here, and they're all like, "Thank God, the United States is not to that point yet."
Well, Venezuelans and Cubans in Miami, and they'll all tell you that.
They'll all tell you.
Yeah,
they will all tell you.
Yeah.
So obviously we wanted to talk about some other topics today, but we would be remiss if we didn't give some updates on the Trump assassination attempt. I don't even think I'm allowed to say those words on YouTube now, but whatever. I just did, so sue me. No, don't sue me. Actually,
the Democrat trigger attempt.
Yes, the Democratic trigger attempt. So couple updates. We had some text messages that were released. I believe it was late yesterday, earlier today, between Secret Service agents discussing what they had seen. Basically confirming that this guy was spotted long before they knew that he was a person of suspicion. The one Secret Service agent was even texting that, hey, this guy definitely just saw me go to my car with my gun. Like, he knows you're up there. So that is now, there's just like no question that this guy was identified well before the shooting took place. The second thing that came out was new video that kind of hit the airwaves today. I believe the guy's last name was Stewart. He was at the event filming from about 60 feet maybe in front of the AGR building, facing towards it. And the reason that the video is just getting released right now is because he was detained and handcuffed, and his phone was taken from him the day of the event, and he just got his phone back, which is why I have all of my stuff goes into the cloud as soon as I take it, so that even if somebody takes my phone, I will have the videos. But this is probably the most damning piece of evidence to drop yet. It is crystal clear where the shots come from. It is crystal clear how many shots there were from one gun. And then it is crystal clear what a cluster fuck it was on the ground, about 5 minutes prior to the shooting taking place. There are cops running all around that building. You can see them radioing, and Trump was still allowed to remain on stage.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane, man.
Crazy. Don and I were talking prior to getting on here, and I said I'm pretty confident in what transpired that day now. The reasonings behind it, the lapses, all that kind of stuff, yet to be determined. I think judging by this new video, I will say that I believe that Crooks did take 8 shots. He took 3 shots spread out. Pop, pop, pop. There was a slight pause, and pop, 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 pop. They all had the same kind of sound. The video was...
Which it didn't sound like that from the other direction.
No, it did not, which is why I posted those. You and I had long discussions about it. We talked about it here on the podcast, and why I did the videos over at 28 Patriot Ranch, because the sounds sounded weird.
But what we did say, video can take some weird, anything audio wise can definitely be come off different depending on where you are. So
Yep. And this guy, like I said, was about 60 feet in front of that building, facing towards it with his phone out in front of him. So, I mean, you're unless you were right next to the kid, you're never going to get clearer audio of this incident than that.
So let me ask you a question, because I haven't even asked you this.
Mm-hmm.
So you think the first 3 shots were meant for Trump, and then he just decided he was just going to rattle off anything that he could after that? Is that what you think?
Intent, I don't know. I think this is pure speculation. I think the first 3 shots were very targeted shots at Donald Trump. I think the burst of fire was because at that point in time, obviously he was found, right? He was found out at that point. Everybody's screaming, everybody's pointing. He tries to get off the last couple shots and does it in a kind of sporadic manner. Either they were meant for Trump still, or he just wanted to do damage in the crowd too. I would say that all 8 of those shots did come from Crooks from that position on the roof, though.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into any more of, why did the lapses happen? Why wasn't Secret Service up there? I think all that stuff, it's funny. When you and I talked that night, we were talking about, will we ever know what happened? And, I had said to you about, this is very different from JFK because we had the Zapruder film, right? And that was it. And this, we have hundreds of videos. And this is just another one to get released today. So I'm confident that we'll at least have a damn good, like I said, I believe I do now, but I think overall we'll have a damn good idea of what transpired in that stretch of time. Will we ever know why it happened?
That's the biggest question. That's the biggest question. Why and who was behind it? And like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I still think it's malice. I still think that this was,
and it could be.
I think that it was government planned. I just don't think that there's any way that you make that big of a mistakes and you have that amount, that period, that time amount that's been allotted for you to be able to change the trajectory of that event. 5 minutes, you could have changed that trajectory completely and you didn't. And this is supposed to be the greatest security detail that the world's ever seen. And either that or we're just so far into DEI that we just don't give a fuck anymore. It's one or the other.
Yeah, so you bring up a good point there. And I know you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but our good friend Eric Prince was on Sean Ryan again today. And they spent a good bit of time discussing the Democratic puller event, trigger puller event. I should have worn my trigger puller hat instead of my pump daddy. But I lost my train of thought. So Eric Prince was on Sean Ryan, and Eric Prince said that the problem we're having is some of it maybe DEI, sure. But the majority of it, it's this no accountability. Everybody gets a trophy. Less than excellence is accepted. It's that mentality that has just rotted to the core of our government over the past 10, 15, 20 years. Like there used to be pride in your jobs and pride in your positions. And you used to have to excel to get promoted. And you had to excel to keep your job. And now it's like, that's okay. You let a presidential candidate get shot.
Dude,
okay.
I see it even in my job. Like,
well, yeah, yep.
People that shouldn't be in places that they are, but because they are DEI hires, that's what they are. They get put into these valuable positions, and then they fuck it all up. And we have seen that at the company that I work for. And people that are watching this that know who I am, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The rest of you guys will never know, but that's besides the point. It's bad. The company that I work for has been just a complete shit show. Really since before COVID, it's really just gone to shit. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I encourage you guys all. Actually, you know what? I'll leave a link down below. Really insightful conversation between Eric Prince and Sean Ryan.
I haven't got to see it yet, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
And don't worry, I know you guys joke us a lot in our Instagram DMs and stuff about us going long, but Sean Ryan goes twice as long as we do most of the time. This one he does not. It's about like an hour and a half, I think. So it's very watchable.
So he's about like us.
He's about like us, except for they stay way more focused. But you know what? I left the conversation thinking, if Trump does not pick Eric Prince to be his Secretary of Defense,
bro,
I might be out.
Bro, he better. And I mean, he would be like the most perfect person that you could have for Secretary of Defense, man.
I think if you watch the last, now 7 episodes of the Liberty Goons, I think we've filled out most of his cabinet. Alina Abba for Attorney General. Eric Prince for Secretary of Defense. Bring back Vince McMahon's wife for education. Man, I mean, I'm for it.
Or Ken Paxton for AG. That's what we've had to toss.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about it. Then we got to give Alina a spot in the administration. Chief of Staff?
Bro, she might be a killer speaker.
Well, she would, but that's far below her abilities.
That's true.
She's a badass lawyer.
Yeah, we would definitely find her a position. But there are so many positions. I mean,
you can give me Kayleigh McEnany back as press secretary.
She'd be awesome. I mean, and we, our boy Vivek has to have a position. There's no
agreed. I think he should be head of DHS.
Yes, that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I would love that spot for him.
And then, like he said, he could just go in and say, "Oh, anybody that's got an odd number, or your social security number ends in an odd number, you're fired. You're gone."
Yep. and Elon Musk for transportation secretary.
That would piss so many libs off, bro.
Oh man.
But yeah, he'd be great for it. I'm all for it, man.
And Donald Trump Jr. for housing and urban development. I just built the whole entire cabinet right there,
bro.
Trump, if you are watching,
yeah, Trump,
you're not watching.
Yeah, but if you are, or
if you know
somebody that is, let us know because we would love to help out.
We would love to help you out. We can make some picks for you. Let's just be honest, your first couple picks the last time in didn't go so well. So.
Yeah, let us help you help yourself.
Yeah. John Bolton, warmonger. Yeah. Man, something else that we haven't talked about, that was our weekly update, by the way. Something else we haven't talked about a whole lot is the situation in Israel.
Man.
And Hamas, and obviously most of America saw the protests that have occurred over this past week, mainly on the night of Joe Biden's message to, I don't know who. It was supposed to be to me, but I don't think it was to me. And they were spray painting Hamas on statues in Philadelphia and DC. They were burning flags. Yeah, the Liberty Bell. They were burning flags. They were tackling and stomping on park police. Wake up, society.
Yeah, and
that's who these people are.
Then they all got let go. They got arrested, and then they all got.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that's what happens, and see. Let me explain something to you guys. So socialists will use you. Democrats will use you. It's all the same shit. Democrats, socialists, communists, they will use you to get to where they want to be able to keep power. And then once you're no good for them, they don't give a shit about you. Perfect example of this is right now, New York City. Perfect example. Okay, we just brought in, 18, 20 million illegal immigrants. We're going to let them be able to vote, and we no longer care about the black community. Fuck the black community at this point. That's what Democrats are saying, right? We have all these new people that can vote for us. And what happens to the black community? Well, guess what? Your schools are done, your playgrounds are taken over, your communities your community sites are all taken over, your parks are taken over. Homeless people that are in your city that are American veterans, they can't get places to stay. And then the government makes a big decision. Oh, well, we need to thin some of them out. So let's give them some tickets to go wherever they want to in the United States. And this is what happens. They don't give a shit about you. They toss you to the side. And then they'll say, well, you need us again because now you're broke. Inflation's high. You want us to give you a handout, don't you? And this has been the vicious cycle for so long. It's extremely amplified now to the extreme.
Yeah. And here's kind of, obviously you kind of have to watch what you say these days because sometimes just common, well, yeah. Sometimes just common opinions get misconstrued as anti-Semitism or something like that, right? And I have absolutely nothing against Jewish people. Zero feelings. Just people to me.
I have Israeli friends.
Yeah, I have nothing. There's not a anti-Semitic bone in my body. Just as there's no other kind of bone in my body against really any people. Yeah. But
except Democrats.
we have got to keep our nose out of foreign problems. And I know what everybody's going to say that sees this that's from another frame of mind. They're going to say, "But John, Israel's our greatest ally." What? This has to be a two-sided equation for it to work. And right now, we're the main side of this whole thing.
We've been the main side of all of these wars popping off all throughout the world right now.
We are the ones propping them up. We are the ones funding them. We are the ones protecting them. And look, I don't want to see Israel demolished, but at some point we have to say to the rest of the world, yo, y'all gotta solve your problems, man.
But John, I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why Israel hasn't done what they needed to do to finish everything is because
of us.
That's the reason why.
I get it. Yeah.
Because we're giving them money. Sure, fine, fantastic. Whatever.
No, but we're saying don't go and freaking
don't go do this. Don't go do this. Don't go do that.
My message was for us, not for Israel. That message was for us.
No. I agree with you. I'm just saying because people will get that confused. The perspective on this is that, we need to play both sides of the coin, and we don't. We actually don't need to play any sides of the coin.
That's my point. Yep.
And in fact. I think that Israel should just go bomb the absolute living fuck out of Hamas until they're fucking done. I don't give a shit at this point. America went and fought over in the Middle East for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, but these people, all of them, have been fighting for thousands of years.
Exactly. This is my whole point. And it's never going to end.
No,
it's never going to end because there's always going to be a new terrorist group that's going to pop up. So, bro, for people to be all pro Hamas, you all are fucking crazy. These are terrorist, insane, psycho groups. Whether you agree with Israel or not, let's be honest. They had one of the biggest mass killings ever on what was it? What day was that?
October 7th.
October 7th. And they fucking went and defended themselves. Now, I know that there's a long, prolonged, massive attacks on each other forever and ever and ever and ever. But guess what? None of us are that great of historians to figure out which person first started this fucking 3,000 fucking years ago.
Right. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with me.
Exactly. And that's
why somebody from Israel should not be commenting on a dispute between Missouri and New York.
Exactly.
It was nothing to do with them.
Yeah, I hate when fucking British people fucking come in and start commenting about, anti-gun.
Morgan.
Yeah, exactly. Pierce Morgan. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Whether I like some of the things that you say or not, like, stay the fuck out of our business. This is our business. We fought a revolutionary war. We
Beat your ass.
We beat your ass. We don't need fucking England to get into our business. We don't need any country to get into our business. I mean, we're back-to-back World War champs, bro. Like, when we lose wars, it's because we fucking back out for public opinion because people are running for fucking, election. That's the reason why.
We're great invaders. We're horrible occupiers. That's our problem.
Yeah.
That's our problem.
Because, look at Afghanistan. Oh, everybody wants to get out of the war. Everybody wants to get out of the war. Everybody wants to get out of the war, but nobody does. And then when they do get out of the war, then they do it so fucking bad because everybody's just trying to get out that there's no fucking game plan to do it. And then you get a bunch of soldiers killed. Well, guess what? We probably shouldn't have been there in the fucking first place. We could have
we shouldn't have been in Vietnam.
We shouldn't
have been in Iraq.
No.
We shouldn't have been in Afghanistan.
We
shouldn't be helping Ukraine. We should have had nothing to do with Korea.
Yeah, nothing.
Obviously there's some particulars that happened in World War I and World War II that led to our engagement in both of those wars. And I actually don't question either of those. But I think what you're seeing now is just, and not only should we not be involved, but now this is boiling over into our streets and affecting our country and our citizens, and people are burning our flag. Like, I don't get that. I don't get the train of thought. I don't get it.
In 1776, we would have just fucking lit these people on fire in a firing line, bro. That's what it is, and that's how fucking lost America is, and that's how pussy our government is.
Mm-hmm.
Our government will. I mean, our government will fucking kill people, no problem, but our government's also going to do whatever it is that they can do to destroy America in order to be able to keep power. They don't give a fuck.
You talked about it last week in your opening monologue about the power vacuum. You know,
that's what it is. It's you all are slaves. Me and John are slaves. If you're a black person, guess what? I don't care. You keep voting for the Democrat Party, you're a slave. Everybody in this country is a slave. You are taxed at 45% fucking percent. That is the definition of slave. Most people live week to week. Okay. And that's because we've invested into these people and allowed them to have crazy power control. And we've let them spend all of our future's money, our children's fucking money. And that's the reason why we are in the place that we are. We're all slaves. This is modern day slavery. Okay. So you guys just keep pushing more and more for it. And eventually real people are going to crack. They're going to crack. And when that happens, all you motherfuckers are doomed. Every last one of you. And that's not a threat. I'm not threatening saying Don Welch is going to come out here and go fucking slay people. I'm not talking about that. Bro, wait until we have an economic crash. Wait until we have, a bomb dropped on America, or you have an EPM or an EMP dropped on us. Wait until something like that happens. Wait until the electronic or the electric grid goes out. Then see what people do to each other, because that's the times that we're living in. And when that happens, you all are fucked. All of you.
And to be honest, most of us are fucked. It's just how long is it going to take for us to get fucked? People call me Mr. Preparedness. I do this stuff for a living now, and just shit under my desk right now. I've got a laptop and a cell phone and some other stuff in a Faraday bag, ready to go because of an EMP. I'm different, but that doesn't mean I'm going to last forever.
No.
But you people that don't have anything, you are definitely fucked. You are definitely done for.
All of you little weirdo fairies out there that don't want guns, bro, you better go buy yourself a motherfucking gun, because if shit pops off and it's me and John versus you're you're getting smoked if
You're screwed.
if it comes down to survival. I'm telling you now, you're getting smoked. And me and John are the bottom of the totem pole, bro. There's people out there that are way more proficient, way more violent than what we are.
I'm just going to try to avoid them.
Yeah, I'm just exactly at that point, you know. And I don't think people realize how crazy, bro. We haven't had a civil war in this country in so fucking long. I think this is the world's worst event that could possibly happen for America. We start having a civil war in America, the economic crash, EMP hits, you know, like the FBI said, 98% of America would be, or North America would be dead, not the United States. North America would be dead within a year. If you don't think that China and Russia is not going to come sniff all you fucks out at that point, bro, you are crazy. It'll be a wash for America.
If you want just a little bit of insight into what would happen, there is a series of books by William R. Fortune called 1 Second After, and then I believe it's 1 year after Final Days, and then I forget what the last one was. But it details and chronicles the downfall of American society after an EMP. It's a fictional story, obviously. Newt Gingrich wrote the foreword for it, and it's actually been quoted on the floor of Congress before. Great book series. You can get it on Audible. I'm surprised they haven't made it into a movie yet, or a series of movies. If you want an idea, you know, check it out. You can also wait, because next month in August, we will be dropping a 4-part series on when the shit hits the fan at 2A Patriot Ranch. Nice little plug there.
There you go. You gotta go. Guys, gotta go check out John. Make sure you all subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's always giving you guys great content over there.
Like this says down below here, if you love watching an idiot with guns, follow us over at 2A Patriot Ranch. All right, man. Well, it is time for one of my favorite segments. I think your favorite segment is the watch list.
Probably.
And my favorite segment is trigger warning.
Boom, 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 boom. Let's go.
So today's trigger warning topic is a very broad spectrum topic. Hopefully we can contain ourselves. It is the U.S. debt. We're going to talk a little bit about the U.S. deficit as well, but just for all you dumb shits that are out there, they are two different things, the deficit and the debt. The debt is how much money we owe, and it is at $35 trillion.
So your kids fucking money.
$35 trillion. An estimated $1.9 trillion deficit this year will be added to that total number.
And what do we have to show for it, John?
Well, I have nothing to show for that.
Not one.
I have less. I actually have less because of that.
Less. That's exactly it. You have less.
I have less to show of that. You know what? I was reading an article earlier that was so off base on this topic, and it was like, it basically centered around taking more money in. We've talked about that. I think this was episode 1 or episode 2. I gave the analogy about cutting spending or getting more money, and which one was easier. The only way to curb this problem is to decrease the size of our government and its spending. That's the only way we get out of this.
That's it.
We cannot tax society anymore. We are tapped out. We are already paying an exorbitant amount of our hard-earned money into the system.
Yeah.
That well is dry.
Yeah.
The only way now is to reduce consumption of that money.
Yeah.
And the only way we're going to do that is by getting rid of and decreasing social programs. This is going to be an unpopular one, but let me explain it out. Decreasing defense spending. And by defense spending, I don't mean things that are going to make us ill-prepared or underprepared or vulnerable. I'm talking about, you guys all know the stories of spending $200 on a heart hammer from Walmart. You know what? That's $14.
$50 on a fucking banana.
I can tell you guys, because what I did in the military, I worked in the supply section for like a brief period of time. I had gotten hurt and couldn't work out in the pad with the rest of the guys, and I saw what we paid for stuff. We were using like all Snap-on tools, like all Snap-on, and that shit ain't freaking cheap. And we didn't try to find the best price. We had contracts with Snap-on, and we had to buy it directly through them at whatever the price they told me it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by cutting defense spending. We need to get rid of the amount of government employees that we have.
Bro, it's crazy. What is the government? It's something like, what is it? 20% now of or 15% or something like that.
There are 19.23 million people working for the federal government.
Yeah, what is that percentage wise as far as the working
14.5% of the workforce.
Bro, that's fucking crazy. That's
14.5% of the workforce.
I said 20, but yeah, I mean, fuck.
And let's make sure that we break this down, because some of you are going to say, well, what are all those people going to do for jobs? When the government needs less money to run, that means that it needs to collect less money from you and your boss and your boss's boss and your company and the rest of them. That creates more jobs and it boosts the economy.
Yeah, because who's paying for those fucking government jobs is you, the taxpayer. That's who's paying for those fucking jobs.
You.
Bro, and we quit manufacturing shit. We quit making firearms drastically in America. We quit digging oil and producing things in America. And that's what John was saying in the beginning of this. Like, do we even have the capabilities to even have a world war in America right now? Like, would we be able to, like back in the day when Ford and Chrysler and everything just switched over to, a war manufacturer? Can we even do that right now? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And that's what we're talking about at this point. It's just a waste of government waste spending on shit that you don't need. These motherfuckers need to go out and get a real fucking job. That's what they need to do. Real fucking job. Suffer like the rest of us, you unelected, bureaucrated fucks.
Yeah, and what made me start to think about this earlier is I was driving home from the gun store, and I live by a series of government buildings and police stations and federal office buildings and stuff like that. And as I was driving down the road, I was looking at the license plates of all the cars that were parked on the side of the road. There must have been 100 government vehicles that were parked on these streets. What are all of those vehicles for? Like, what are they all for? These weren't cop cars. I understand the need for police cars and stuff. Who else needs to drive around? What are you doing? Maybe a building inspector? I get it. Buildings need to be safe. We should probably look at those things. Maybe the park ranger, because he needs to patrol the park, But Joe Blow, who's the director of whatever program, doesn't need to have a government car that you pay for. You do realize that, folks, right? You do realize that these government bureaucrats have government vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad, I'm not going to talk about what he did, because I don't think he would like that too much.
And they even get a per diem for living expenses.
Yeah, he was a government agent, and he drove his car home every night. That was a perk of the job. He got to drive his car home every night. He didn't get to use it for like personal stuff. He didn't, drive around and stuff. But that was the car that he commuted to and from work in. Don, does your company pay for your commute?
Hell no. Not even.
Mine doesn't pay for my commute.
It's $100 every single week just to get from back and forth to my fucking job.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of spending. Like, do you guys not realize this? Like, everybody thinks that I just want to take away, Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and all these things, which are a burden. Don't get me wrong, they're a burden. But I see some need in society. What are people supposed to do at 70 years old for income? Like, yeah, I get it. You
No,
know?
and I think that we should have Social Security. I do. But the problem is that, hey, you dumb fucks that keep voting Democrat, you guys are never going to get Social Security anyways. It's going to be a wash.
Yeah.
You're paying into shit you're never going to. You know why? Because you keep fucking voting in Democrats that keep going and funding $80 billion to places like Ukraine that has no chance in fucking Hades to survive and make it. They're not going to make it. Okay? If we had a smart politician that was, had a brain in his fucking head, he'd be able to go over there and maybe, do some politic his way out of some shit. But that's not happening. Instead, all we've done is create fucking wars, with this administration and with all the other administrations too. The only administration that we didn't start a new war with was fucking Trump. And
Let's take this. Wars. Prime example, bro. So glad that you just said that. What if we had taken the 200 billion that we had sent to Ukraine and we paid down our debt with it? We'd be at $34.8 trillion.
Yeah, or the $200,000 to see if cocaine makes frogs more horny. Like we spend money on dumb shit.
Makes me horny.
Absolutely dumb shit. I don't think it takes fucking rocket scientists to figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, come on. We're still are sending $1.5 million to fucking Iran for gay education. It's like,
have you seen
these motherfuckers kill people that are gay out there, and you guys are over there in the streets like fucking cheering on people in the Middle East and Hamas. Bro, these people fucking hate you. Shut the fuck up. We don't need to send a dime over there.
Have you seen the interview that Sean Ryan did with the Afghani? We are paying the Taliban like $80 million a week right now.
Bro, it's fucking...
We're paying the Taliban $80 million fucking dollars a week.
Oh, I mean, it pisses me off too, because even when we were in war over there, we'd go into these little fucking communities to like show peace and try to do all this other shit, and then you would pay off people that are, fucking making heroin and stuff, and then we're selling the fucking heroin and then giving them the money back. Bro, fuck all these people. Like, I don't like this amount of spending is stupid. There's no reason for us to go fund any of these people, bro. This is war. Like, do you think people out there that if China has a chance to crack America, if they have a chance to crack America, do you think that they're going to come to your neighborhood and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, we killed your dog. Here, we're going to give you $100,000 because we killed your dog. You are out of your motherfucking mind.
They'll just shoot you.
They're just going to shoot you. You guys are fucking stupid. You communist, socialist, Democrats. Yes, all three of the above. You guys are all the exact same. You are fucking retarded. Like, absolutely fucking ignorant if you think that another country would come into America and do that. Hell no. Hell no.
No, it's
not a snowball's chance in hell.
We cannot keep spending, and we cannot keep raising taxes. It's an impossibility. There's a good point brought up earlier today, and I can't remember who said it, but talking about how some of the states, your state, my state, and some of the other larger states would be better off on our own.
Way better, bro. Texas would be the 7th richest country in the world. World right now if they left.
I think Florida would be at like 10,
and we would be the most energy energy independent country in the entire fucking world. Texas would be. Yep. We don't need you, and we sure as fuck don't need to be sending soldiers out for your fucking stupid ass wars in America.
We don't need it either. We can put oil rigs just off the coast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
We don't need it.
If Texas and Florida leaves, America dies. You think that California is going to keep you? Bro, the debt in California is larger than the whole United States combined. You guys make money, but you guys spend more money than you guys have ever fucking made. So
yeah, you can talk about, oh,
luck.
we'd be the second largest economy in the world if California wasn't part of the United States. Yeah, that's great. But you also lose money every year. You have a deficit.
A massive debt.
Does your state have a deficit?
No.
Does Florida have a deficit?
No.
No.
In fact, when I looked into it, our federal taxes that we pay every single year, 15% of our federal taxes go to pay off the debt in California. So
Don't surprise me. And it's crazy to think about, because if we just as a society look at how simple running the government is compared to like our own lives, and use the same types of techniques, and we have a checkbook. Well, we don't really all have checkbooks anymore, but you know how much money is coming in and coming out. You
should be treating America like your household.
Yes. When you don't have any money left in your checking account, you're done.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
You might be able to rob Peter to pay Paul for a little while using credit cards or whatever it is, but eventually catches up to you, right? Like you don't just get to go on forever like that.
Bro, and the $35 trillion that we owe, the vast majority of that is to fucking China. If China decides to pull the car, bro, fucking forget about it, because the Democrats have sent all the fucking manufacturing jobs to either there or fucking Mexico or whatever other fucking country you can think of, instead of doing it right here in the United States. And they all want to do electric cars and all that dumb shit. And 90% of all electric cars are made in fucking China.
There's about 20 stories above me. At the top of the building that I live in, there's a nice penthouse apartment, and I believe it goes for about $15,000 a month. I would love to live in that apartment, but I can't fucking afford it. So, if you want to go hand out free contraceptives, we can't afford that.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. Fucking stupid.
If you want me and the rest of America to pay for everybody's medical bills, we can't afford that.
Well, our medical bills are so fucking high because Democrats keep overspending left and right, and we've been doing that for so fucking long. And I'm not saying, dude, look, people blame Trump all the time for spending money. Bro, when Trump was spending all that money, it was his last 2 years of office.
It was COVID.
COVID hit. The Congress was all Democrat. The Senate was majority Democrat. And what was he going to do? What was he going to do at that point in time? They fucking threw up a huge fucking bill, and he said, fuck it, I'm going to do it because I have no power. And he does.
And we had Ballas Boehner in there too.
Yeah. And I keep trying to tell people, bro, you think the Supreme Court if you think the Supreme Court needs to have fucking terms, y'all are fucking out of your mind. Congress and the fucking Senate need to have like 2 terms, and you get the fuck out forever. You can never serve in another political office ever fucking again. Ever. Yeah. Same thing with the president. Bro, if after you serve a presidential term, in fact, I don't even think that you should be able to, this is my humble opinion, I don't even think that you should be able to be in Congress or the Senate and then be able to run for president if you've already served out 2 terms. If you served out 1 term, sure. But if you served out 2 terms, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, you're done.
You've already been in there. You already know the game. You've already been rubbing shoulders with the fucking deep state, and you've probably gained a fuck ton of money because you've invested into whatever God knows what fucking company, and you've made a fuck ton of money off of stocks. Like you're done. You're over with at that point. We don't need you. You're fucking, you need to go. You need to kick the fucking road because we know what this is. We see this. And this isn't just a Democrat thing. This is a Republican thing too. Bro, we have rhinos that have been in office fucking forever.
Spending money left and right.
And vote with every single Democrat. Bro, that's the reason why we have the issues that we have. Yeah, we love to blame the Democrats, but it's because we keep fucking voting in rhinos and you guys keep putting them into place. And thank God the past two elections for Congress and Senate, we've slowly been kicking them the fuck out. Mm-hmm. And until we can completely get them the fuck out, it's always going to continue to happen. But we have to fucking put a term limit on these fuckers because we're just digging ourselves a deeper and deeper hole, and we're going to keep accumulating debt. And eventually, bro, that debt collector is going to come and say, hey, man, it's time to fucking pay up.
And it doesn't just mean that you get your wages garnished for us. It means society collapses.
That's exactly what it means.
As you can see, this is probably actually our best segment we've done in 7 episodes because Don and I are truly triggered. We're truly triggered by this topic.
Like, I'm extremely passionate about it. I know you are too. It's just fuck.
Yes. Man. Yes. All right. Well, we've got Don's favorite segment up next.
If you guys do have questions on this, though, ask us. We would love to talk to you. Definitely make a comment on here. If you agree with us, disagree with us, if you have questions, fucking put them in there.
And don't forget to ring that damn notification bell.
Bing, bing.
All right, guys. We are back. Just to let you know, when you see the cuts in this, Don and I have to take pee breaks sometimes. So if you see that's the only real edits you'll ever see in our videos is when we have to take a break. I was checking my phone while I was taking a break there. You know how many emails I got from the Trump campaign today?
How many?
8. 8 emails in one day from the Trump campaign.
Bro, you know what's crazy is I don't get anything like that. I get a bunch of like Kamala Harris shit, and I don't know why. You know, I was getting like Joe Biden.
You want to tell our viewers?
Yeah, bro, I don't know what it is. Even like, okay, so
for do you have any funny friends?
No, think about this. So I think it might be where I live, right? So when Brandon Herrera was running for Congress, of course, I voted for Brandon Herrera. I got like 2 mailers from Brandon Herrera. I'm not joking you, dude. I could have covered this entire fucking wall with the amount of Tony Gonzalez mailers that I had.
He also spent more money.
It was insane, bro. It was crazy.
We used to mess with people by signing them up for the opposite political parties' mailers and donations when we wanted to fuck with people.
Yeah, somebody might have done that to me.
It was like back in the day. Did you ever do this to your friends? We did this to our buddy, Fisherman Joe. I'm sorry if you're watching, but when Craigslist used to have the missed connections and personal ads, and we'd post a personal ad for him up there. You know, men looking for men and stuff.
That's hilarious.
He deserved it though. And guys, just this is like 20 years ago. He used to like to teabag people when they would fall asleep during parties. So that was his payback. Anyway, I digress. And it is time for Don's favorite segment.
The watch
list.
Let's go. This is my favorite episode, my favorite segment of the of this episode here. We have none other than Facebook himself, Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark freaking Zuckerberg.
And this guy is on our watch list for several different reasons. Let's just say Mark Zuckerberg is, when you think about freedom of speech, Mark Zuckerberg is probably at the bottom there with Stalin. That's probably where Mark Zuckerberg is. If you guys have ever been on Facebook or Instagram, and next thing you know, you get a little violation, or you can't say this, or now you can't post for so many days. I mean, this is your freedom of speech getting stripped away from you by AI from none other than himself, Mark Zuckerberg. Now,
this is the guy that stole the idea for his company from the Winklevoss twins, who are now still super rich, and they're actually Trump supporters, I believe. Correct? Wow. I believe they were at the RNC. Funny enough, but Those of you guys that have watched The Social Network, you know Mark Zuckerberg's story. Mark Zuckerberg. We do have nicknames for all of our watch list people. So Mark Zuckerberg, you just got named.
More like Mark Zuckerturd is what he is.
Zuckerturd. He stole the idea for Facebook from the Winklevoss twins. That is not conjecture. That was actually, I think, settled in court.
Yeah.
So that's just I'm not throwing shit out there. And then over the course of the last 20 or so years, Mark Zuckerberg has proceeded to build an empire that has been based on
communism.
Yeah, here we go back to communism. Has been based on censorship, manipulation of free will,
election jerry rigging.
Jerry rigging. Basically, he is a turd of society.
Yeah, if you guys have ever heard the term shadow banning, you can thank Mark Zuckerberg. Or Mark Zuckerturd, yeah. Shadow banning. I keep losing followers. At one point in time, I had about 50,000 followers. Now I got about, 49,000 followers, whatever the case is. And I have been extremely shadow banned. Actually, when I went out to your place, we were talking about this.
You mean when you called YouTube Nazis on my channel?
Yeah.
Well, that time? Yeah.
And you just did again. So here we are getting canceled once again. YouTube the Nazis. But it's true though. I've been shadow banned on YouTube. I even had my YouTube channel even stripped away from me. But we're talking about Mark Zuckerturd right now. So, I used to get thousands and thousands and thousands of likes and story views and tons of comments. And I think now like a good.
So you posted that first gun.
And then as soon as I started posting guns, I started getting into anything that was Second Amendment, which I've always been very outspoken. So I always get slapped on the wrist no matter what. But I don't think that I never really showed on Instagram who I was as far as like, I'm a gun guy, And then some shit happened. I was going through some legal bullshit and some stuff with the label. I'm not even going to mention their names, but anyways, at that point in time, I said, well, I'm not doing music right now, so fuck it. I'm just going to post gun stuff and show what I like to do anyways, regardless, instead of just posting about music all the time. And that's when I started noticing, holy shit, I'm getting fucking hit hard.
All I do is post gun shit, and therefore
you're always hit hard. Bro,
I'm always hit hard.
What's crazy is, so me and John are like, really good friends. Clearly we're doing a podcast together, but to even find John, and John follows me, I follow him, to even find John's post, like a couple times a week, I'll have to like type into a Patriot Ranch to even get on there to be like, oh, I wonder what John's up to this week. And then go and like some of his posts, because if not, I will never see it. Ever see it.
And if you want to find me, guys, if you're not currently a follower and you want to follow To A Patriot Ranch, you literally have to type in the entire name, To A Patriot Ranch. You could type in To A Patriot RAN, and it will not come up. You have to type in the whole username.
And even with me right now, you type in Don Welch Music, a bunch of other things will pop up. I'm the only blue checked one, and you have to keep scrolling to even find me. I remember when Trump was president, when people would look up my name and they would type in Don, and it would the first two things that would pop up, Donald Trump and then myself. And these people that would never follow me ever. It would be Donald Trump, Don Welch Music. As soon as you typed in the word Don. And it's no longer like that anymore.
This is Zuckerturd's fault.
Yeah, no, 100%. You and I have a buddy that used to work for Facebook, and he quit about, I guess, probably midway through COVID. If you guys don't know, Facebook's in Austin. That's where a lot of their stuff's ran out of is Austin now, Austin, Texas, which is about 50 minutes to an hour down the road from.
They're not in. Where are they at? Palo Alto or Meadowview?
They do have a place there, and then they moved a bunch of their stuff to Austin, Texas. But at that point in time, when he was working for
Keep Austin weird.
Yeah, extremely weird. But at that point in time, he was working for Facebook, and we were friends. He was like, "Yeah, don't post an American flag." He's like, "Don't say the word 2A." Don't, and he was telling me all the things not to say.
Didn't you say it was like, and especially during like an election year,
Oh yeah,
not to do
yeah,
all that stuff?
yeah. If you do that during an election year, good luck. It's going to take you a year and a half to even get your account to even be functioning again. And well, clearly me and John are, and
In that boat.
I just don't give a shit at this point in time. You know what I mean?
It affects my business.
Well, I mean, it affects my business too, because I'm a musician.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where, going from, at one point in time, like I said, I had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then, getting millions and millions of views, millions of streams, all that stuff, to dwindling down to, what it is now. And then I haven't put a song out in so long because of it, because I'm afraid if I put a song out that I really want people to hear, then they're not going to hear it. And then I'm going to have to dump a bunch of money into, marketing and promoting and shit, which really sucks as an artist, because you already spend so much money going into the studio. You spend so much money, like getting, I don't play instruments, but most of my music's live instrumentation. So I have friends that are guitars. I'll pay them money, or drummers, or, slide guitar players or fiddle players or whatever the case is, because I just want my music to be authentic to what I want it to sound like. So I pay them a ton of money to make the instrumentation behind my music, and then I go in and I write my stuff, record it, and put it out, mix and master. And by the time you're done, after you shoot a music video, dude, you're $15,000 in for one song. And then to go back and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna here's another $2,000 or $3,000 to get my lift up from marketing.
Oh, they'll take that money though.
They'll take that
money and promote your music and promote your page and everything.
Oh yeah, they'll do that in a heartbeat. And then what they'll do is midway through that, then they'll hit your shit, and then they'll say, "Oh, well, we can still promote it, but we have to downgrade your promotion, and then it can't be seen by such and such and such and such and such and such." And then you'll see your numbers dwindling down, and then they want you to spend more money. Which is just fucking crazy. So it's a non-ending game. And this is back to our point. This is Mark Zuckerturd. This is exactly what he's been doing. And why we're bringing him up is because here lately, if you guys are MMA fans, UFC fans, you guys all know that Mark Zuckerturd has decided he was going to be some jiu-jitsu, guy. And I guess he's won a couple things, and he's trying to be a man for once, because he's
getting a little testosterone running through his balls.
He's been a pussy, and everybody's called him a pussy for so long. So he's got to do some stuff. So he hops into some stupid, little jiu-jitsu shit where, he can beat some people that are, fucking white belts or whatever the fuck jiu-jitsu is. I don't know. So if it's a white belt, whatever the case is, I've seen his matches. It doesn't look like it's very proficient dudes. But he's done that. And, he shows up to these UFC events. He knows that Dana White's a hardcore, Republican Trump guy. And when Trump got shot, he before I even say this, he's been donating money to the Democrat Party forever. He donated a shit ton of money to Joe Biden. He also, if you said anything about COVID, he removed you off the fucking platform. If you said anything about election interference, he removed you off the fucking platform.
Yep.
Or he suppressed the shit out of you. Whether that was Facebook, whether that was Instagram, it didn't make a difference.
The Trump laptops, or the Hunter Biden laptop story.
The Hunter Biden laptop tour, the exact same shit. Nonstop, this motherfucker has just been, the definition of a Nazi when it comes to your freedom of speech. And now he's trying to get into the MMA community. He wants to look like a badass. He wants to look like American. He's out on his
balls
boat.
Have finally dropped.
Yeah, he's out on the boat. He's flying his American flag. He even came out and said, oh, yeah, Trump looked pretty badass whenever all this shit happened and he got shot in the ear. And, he said, fight, fight, fight for America. And he was like, it's inspiring. But this guy is I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's scared. I think he's scared because if Trump wins, and you get somebody like Vivek in a cabinet to go after Facebook and Instagram for all the shit that they've done. Oh my God. It's going to be a reckoning, an absolute reckoning. And I truly believe that's why he's trying to he's trying to play both sides of the coin like a little bitch that he is.
Don't believe the smoke and mirrors. Like we told you with Tulsi Gabbard, don't believe the smoke and mirrors here. I even found myself a little bit tricked for like a brief second when I was watching that interview when he was talking about Trump getting shot. And I was like, oh, damn. Yeah, you're right, Mark Zuckerberg. Like, good on you for seeing that. And then fleeting thought, because immediately I went, nah, man, you're fucking fake. You're fucking fake, bro. Yeah. And you don't get to have that opinion. You don't get the right to have that opinion anymore.
Think about all these patriots. And I whatever. When we mean the term patriot, we just mean like people that love America,
freedom loving Americans.
Whether it's your gun guy or your political commentator, or your mom that loves Jesus, whatever the case might be, maybe the person in the gym wearing the American flag shorts, or whatever the case might be, right? And people that built jobs on social media, they built careers and lives on social media. That's been ripped away from them. Now, I've always had a job because I knew that like music is, when you're a musician, this. It's very expensive to do. You need another income. You need another income besides that income, and another income besides that income, in order to even be able to put money into music, in order to make anything happen for yourself. And so I've always had another job. So like, with music, with me, it's like, yeah, I was definitely supplementing my income with music, and now it's gone. And it's gone because of people like Mark Zuckerberg. That's the whole reason why. And it's gone for, the communists that are on YouTube that control the systems here. And all of social media platforms, other than maybe now Twitter. And I know Twitter is not buzzing as much. It's not quite as, it's not quite as buzzing as your TikTok, which is ran by the Chinese communists. It's not as looked at as much as Instagram or Facebook or whatever the case might be. But at the end of the day, I really commend people like Elon Musk, because Elon Musk said, I don't give a fuck what you say. You can come on here and we have community notes. And if something's wrong and somebody's lying, you can post a fucking community note and people can see it. Mm-hmm. So you get real truth, where people like Mark Zuckerturd they'll just shut you the fuck up and there's nothing you can do about it. And this is part of your freedom of speech, whether the people, I don't care. I know libertarians are gonna be like, well, it's a business and blah, blah, blah. And this is one of the reasons why I've leaned away from some of the libertarianism beliefs that I had, because, well, then the game's rigged, because these people are no longer just part of a social media platform for you to have freedom of speech. Now these fuckers are part of the government. They're working alongside the government, and now they're taking away your freedom of speech.
Yep.
And it's social media is modern day newspaper, getting out and sitting on your soapbox and talking. That's what social media is. We don't see people getting in the streets anymore, sitting out there talking, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you might have some protesters, whatever the case is, but that's not getting seen by anybody. Now social media is the place to go to, and it spreads so fast. You can have people from all over the entire world know what you're saying. I have people on my social media from, you name it, from Spain to Germany to Australia to America to Africa even. I mean, all over the entire world can listen to what you're saying. And when you get that stripped away from you and you've made a business out of it, bro, they're taking your livelihood. They're taking away your freedom of speech. So yeah, I mean, this is the one thing that I disagree with libertarians about.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna go down this rabbit hole, but I will briefly on this episode. I want to do a much longer form of this. I'm actually gonna do a kind of podcast like this, just like one episode on 2A Patriot Ranch. But recently, and this isn't Zuckerturd, but it's his cronies at YouTube have launched new restrictions on gun content. And if you guys are gun people, you know that Hickok 45 is one of the OGs in the YouTube gun game.
The grandfather.
The grandfather of the YouTube gun game. And he released a video this past week detailing his private interactions with a Google representative. Google owns YouTube, people, if you didn't know that. And basically they told him that any and all sponsorships that have to do with firearms, firearm parts, accessories, anything like that will get you not just ad limited on YouTube now, but your channel getting a strike on it. And that is a death sentence to all of us out there that are content creators. You guys know, if you follow guys like Hickok or Such or Administrative Results or Grand Thumb or me, you know, we do this because we love it, but it's also our business, and we spend a lot of time, energy, effort, and money putting out this content. And without sponsors like we have, that's our income.
Yeah,
that's what we do. This is our business. This is another company affecting our business. And unfortunately, people like Zuckerturd and Google and Alphabet and YouTube, they have a stranglehold on us right now because there's not another alternative that we can switch to. You know, people say, well, John, just use Rumble. That's great, but you don't get the kind of interaction. Nobody is going to pay me to post a Rumble right now.
Yeah, well, Rumble is about 15 years behind of what YouTube is, just as far as their back page on how things get uploaded. You know, how you can see like where your listeners are coming from and so on and so forth. As far as like the marketing aspect of Rumble is just not where YouTube is, and that's because Google owns YouTube. And Google, if you guys looked up anything political ever, guaranteed, the first things that you will see is liberal views. And there will be, and if you look up guns, the first thing that you'll look up was guns. It will be some type of
Everytown America.
It'll be propaganda, some type of, you know, crazy shit that's going to be about guns and how it's wrong and blah, 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 blah. Because
or just Google, from this weekend, you couldn't. If you typed President Donald and stopped there, YouTube's suggestions wrote Donald Reagan or Donald Duck. Or if you typed in assassination of Donald Trump, it gave no suggested results.
Yeah.
This is the same thing, and this is Zuckerturd. And Zuckerturd started this all. And he's what gave everybody kind of the green light to be able to do these things. And people like Don's business have been affected. His music business has been affected. My business has been affected. Poor old grandfather of guns, Hickok 45. You can't not like that dude. His business is going to be affected. Brandon Herrera, his business is going to be affected. Grand Thumb, his business is going to be affected. You know, listen to any 2A procaster out there right now of how they have to talk. Go listen to Guns and Gadgets, Jared or Anthony Armed Scholar. They can't actually say some of the words
that they
like
want to say,
firearms and guns, because they'll get a strike on their channel.
Yeah, you can hear Jared. He'll be like, you know, things that go bang and they come in short and long, and he'll use all these abstract, you know, words to explain to you what he's talking about because he knows that he's going to get hit. And he knows that his business is going to be affected by it.
Exactly. And, you know, Zuckerturd, like I said, is literally the start of this all. Think back to before Facebook when we were all using MySpace, right? And I don't know if you're old enough for that, Don, but
I'm old enough. I had it.
Before
I was
Facebook,
over there coding and everything.
Yeah, before Facebook, there's this thing called MySpace. And Tom was everybody's friend on MySpace. There was no censorship on MySpace.
Zero.
Zero. You could post whatever. Like, there was no such thing as getting struck down or anything.
Bro, this is what we were talking about before. Before the government got involved in there was things like E-Bombs World, bro. And if you don't know what E-Bombs World is, like, you're from a different time period than us. Though, granted, there was some gruesome, terrible fucking things, but the internet was free to anybody that existed on the planet, and there was zero fucking censorship. And that's exactly what it should be. It should be zero censorship. Now, do I think that you should be able to have censorship for your children on there? Yeah, absolutely. If you got a kid and you got some computer up on there or whatever, and your kid's 10 years old and you don't want them to be accessing websites, yeah,
that's your prerogative.
They should have a program on there. But outside of that, there should be zero censorship as far as me to you and me getting my message out to you, as long as you're not a 12-year-old fucking kid. Yeah, because we're all adults here. This is our freedom of speech, and we should be able to say whatever the fuck we want to, and it should not be bogged down by AI and some...
We might get a strike on this video.
Communist bullshit. We probably will. I mean, I said retards and Nazis, so who knows?
Yeah, and that's the shame, because all we're doing is exposing somebody like Mark Zuckerturd here. And for that reason, we can do nothing but add Mark Zuckerberg to
the
watch list.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerturd.
Old Mark Zuckerturd. We got Laughing Kamala. We got Greasy Gavin.
We got nicknames for all these fucks.
Got nicknames for all these people. Poopy Pants Joe. I forgot about that one.
Oh,
man. Shout outs this week. Obviously, I gave one already. Guys over at Stiff Lip Sups. We will be talking to these guys in person. They will be on the podcast in August when we are at Goals.
Hey, I need some for Goals, so you better throw them in the pouch.
I got three packs here. So they sent me the red, white, and blue pack. So it's Fruity Flex. I think there's like a blueberry and a cherry or something like that. Man, I tell you what, I had to take mine out a little bit ago because I'm like,
it works that good?
Yeah, it's good. And you don't get the jitters like you get with a lot of pre-workouts and stuff because it's just caffeine. And they're nice and fat too. Little fatty stash up in there. It would be really hard to upper deck that bitch.
I was gonna say a little upper decky.
You do this on the upper deck. Two at once. So huge shout out to those guys. I also have another shout out here that I want to do because it plays into what we do. This right here is a holster from Hidden Hybrid Holsters. Hidden Hybrid Holsters, it's like leather on the back and they have the Kydex on the front. This one here is for the P365 Fuse. Yes, I'm going to try to carry this thing. Don, I'm going to give it an attempt. I'm going to try to carry it. But the reason I'm actually showing this is not to really give a shout out to them for the holster. It's the fact that all of their holsters come packaged with this right here.
Ooh, you gotta love that.
How cool is that? I think that is so badass. I opened up the pack and I'm like, what is it, a manual for my holster or something? And I pulled it out, and it was the Constitution, and it's in every one. They sent me a couple holsters that I'll be doing some reviews on, but I thought that was pretty freaking badass.
I think they should be handing those out every single time you go, like every new school year for kids. They should be handing one of those out.
I agree.
I
agree. I could not agree more. Last shout out I have is because there is a deadline. I believe there's 2 or 3 more days. I can't remember, to get your August TAC pack. You can get your monthly tactical subscription box at tacpack.com. They have all kinds of stuff. I think this might be a sneak preview as to one of the things that's in the TAC pack this month. And it is this flashbang looking water bottle from MFT. Pretty cool. Oh, I got something for you too, Don.
Hell yeah. What is that?
Kung Fu.
Oh, the Kung Fu grip.
I got you a Kung Fu.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck
yeah.
yeah.
They sent me one of those. So if you go over to tacpack.com and you use the code 2APatriot, you get a free EDC kit worth $65 with your first order. And you, like I said, you got a couple days left to get your August box. And that is my shout outs for the week. Who do you got, Don Welch?
Oh, well, my shout out is to us, and you guys better go get some of our new t-shirts. And we have new t-shirts and we have new hats up. Can you give them the website?
I don't know if I have the website right here.
Okay, look, we're gonna put the website at the first. So the first comment will be this website. We need you guys to come purchase some badass Liberty Goons t-shirts and some badass Liberty Goons hats. We even have the watch list on here, and I know you guys want the watch list. That's my favorite segment of the show. So if you guys are really a fan of the show, buy yourself the fucking watch list shirts because they're sick. And if you guys have one before goals and you see us, we might give you a patch for free. So
yeah,
and there's sick patches.
There's some badass patches we got coming in. I am hoping we get them before we get to goals. You can I put just our abbreviated website down here. You can go to 2apatriotranch.com and click on the Liberty Goons section to find our stuff there. But yes, we have that stuff. Don and I will hopefully be wearing it by next episode. We both have our stuff coming in. It's so brand new that we don't even have our own shit yet.
I'm so hyped on it, man. I've been like waiting. I'm just like a little kid, just like waiting for Christmas, man. That's how excited I am for this shit.
I'm finally ready to wear our own shit so I can stop wearing our sponsored stuff all the time. Combat Iron Apparel if you want to get the Pump Daddy hat.
There you go.
True American Gear if you want the t-shirt. I'm wearing other people's shit just because I have to. Not because I have to. Sorry, guys. I do it because I want to and I love their stuff, but I would much rather be wearing our own gear to promote Liberty Goons. But yeah, you can head over to 2apatriotranch.com and grab that stuff. Great call out. Don Welch on that one.
Buy yourself 2 shirts. Buy yourself if you got a significant other, I mean, bro, how badass would it be for you to be wearing the Liberty Goons shirt? And bro, we got the night vision on there and everything else. And then your girl to be wearing the watch list shirt because I know you want to. Your girl's on the watch list, bro. She's on your watch list, so that's what you need to get. You need to get her the watch list shirt and yourself the Liberty Goons. You know what we call that? The
logo shirt.
Our logo shirt, yeah. So do that. Get gift somebody one of those shirts.
Help us out.
Help us out.
Help us out. We just need to make a few dollars so we can keep doing this.
This was my one and only shout out, and it was to our merch. So.
To our merch. It's the only way we make money here. Or if you want to sponsor the show, if you're okay with all of the crazy shit that we say, which I know some of you guys are, so hit us up. We'd be happy to have you. Some of my sponsors at 2A Patriot Ranch end up on here because it is a way for us to generate income and keep the show free for y'all. That is all we've got for this week. Like Don said, we will be at goals, as we've mentioned a million times, August 17th and 18th. We will be there. Actually, if you guys are there the day prior, we'll be there August 16th as well. It's a industry range day, so we're going to go out and shoot some pew-pews.
You might watch me have to shoot left-handed.
Oh man, I forgot about this.
I'm gonna have to. I have to get surgery on my hand on Wednesday, bro.
Oh man, yeah, you're gonna have to shoot left-handed, bro.
In case you guys don't know this, I severed my tendon on fucking Friday. My fingers cut all the way down from my knuckle all the way down to my big knuckle all the way down to about right here. And yeah, it's pretty bad. It went all the way to the bone. So you might have to see me shoot left-handed and see how terrible.
Well, you can watch. You watch John actually shoot.
Yeah, watch John shoot.
Just watch me shoot. So we'll be there, and maybe you might even catch us in the hotel lobby bar that night. So
no, you're definitely catching me.
Oh, you know what? That's a good thing to ask Don. If anybody out there, I'm not familiar with Knoxville. I've been there once, but I'm not super familiar with it. If you guys have recommendations for bars that we can hit up, put them in the comments below. Let us know where to go out in Knoxville.
Yeah, I wonder how it's going to be, because if you guys have never been to, well, if you have been to SHOT Show and you're watching this, congratulations. I'm so thankful that you've made your way here to the Liberty Goons podcast. But they have Circle Bar, and that's where everybody goes at the end of the night for SHOT Show.
I used to work there, right?
At Circle Bar?
At Harris, yeah.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, this is the place where all the 2A guys go. Everybody's there. You get to meet some crazy people that you never think that you would ever meet in your entire life. I've met MMA fighters there. I mean, I've met like your Top Gun guys, magazine people, people that shot, in the movie industry, you name it. I've seen them all at Circle Bar during SHOT Show, and it's crazy. So if there's a place like that during goals, that would be awesome. I don't know if there is.
Leave it down in the comments, because I literally have nothing. I don't know what to do in Knoxville, and I know we're gonna have some. There's gonna be some drinkers there. I know Jared drinks from Guns and Gadgets. I'm pretty sure that my boy over at TGC News does. Who else is going to be there? Brandon Herrera's there. That guy fucking drinks.
He's drinking what I'm drinking right now. That's some strong bourbon.
They're the total amount of speakers and everything and people that are going to be there. It's crazy. You guys that know Mr. Guns and Gear, he's been doing crazy stuff with this whole Trump shooting too. Go watch his channel. Who else? Tactical Considerations and Tactical Results. Those guys, Mike and God, I'm blanking on the other guy's name right now. And the guy from Warrior Poet Society.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. I do think that Goals is going to take over for any of you guys here. I think that Goals is going to be the new SHOT Show. I do. I see that SHOT Show is going to slowly, and I hate to say this, I do think that it's going to slowly die off. And I just think that Goals is so much, the community is so behind Gun Owners of America. I do feel like it's going to be bigger than SHOT Show in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. This is the first. Yeah, this is the inaugural. Title sponsor is Brownell, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, and we know tons of people that are going personally. Like I have friends that are going. So we have another people in another podcast. Whiskey and Windage. Those are my friends from here in San Antonio, and I know that they're going to go. So I mean, I feel like it's going to be a huge event, man, and I'm so excited. And I also heard that Donald Trump Jr. is going to be there. So
awesome! I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So, we've got that coming up. Hopefully, Don and I told you, I think last episode, that we are going to try to go hog hunting together, and we are going to do a podcast episode from inside of our blind. We haven't worked out any logistics on that yet, but
it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You might actually see us go gator hunting too.
Oh, guaranteed you will see us go gator hunting. I have tons of gators on my property. I'm not going to tell you guys where the property is. We never tell you guys where we live, but
it's near to a Patriot Ranch. So it's
near John. about 10
where you also don't know where it's at.
But yeah, I think that we will definitely go gator hunting. I mean, we don't need tags, but we'll have tags, but we'll get into all that stuff later. It doesn't make a difference.
Legal schmeagle.
Just wait, and I have a feeling that we'll probably put this stuff out around September. Around my birthday-ish is when we'll start putting all this stuff out. So it'll be exciting, man. I'm super stoked for all of that.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. Also check out tomorrow. I'll be posting the review of the Sig Sauer MCX Spear LT 762.
That's the gun John's gonna gift me, later down in life.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Comment down below if you think Don and I should trade pink slips, should bet pink slips on guns for gator hunting. Whoever gets the first gator wins.
Oh, that would be sick. That would be sick. We could do that.
Yeah.
What you guys got to write it down in the comments though. We need to see the comments before we do something like that.
Yeah, because that's a big one. Because if I'm putting up the spear against something, we gotta.
I mean, I got my alpha.
That's true.
If you want to do a 7.62 to 7.62,
there we go.
The alpha's nasty. So I mean, could do something like that.
Oh, you know what? We can use. Sorry, guys, we're like way off track here, but this is cool. This is a cool conversation here. We can use the ATN Excite 5, and we'll film because it records when you shoot, and we'll film us shooting the hogs and the gators.
Oh yeah, that will be sick, dude. Yeah, we have to do that.
Oh, now you know what? We need to do an Everglades trip and go find some snakes, some boas.
That'd be sick. I've never went and done anything with that, like snake wise. Honestly, that's the only thing.
I fucking hate them.
That I was gonna say, the only thing I'm terrified, which I probably shouldn't be telling anybody on the planet this, the only thing that I'm terrified of is fucking snakes, bro. You can put a bear in front of me, and I'm like, okay, that's a bear. But
I shot at one when I first bought my property. Like you've been out there before, and prior to it being cleared out, it was all just dense woods the whole way through there. And so the first time I went out there, I walked through it all like dense forest like that because I wanted to find if there were any. If you guys don't know, in Florida, you got to find out if there's like wet spots on your property or not before you go too far into it. And so I went looking for low spots for water, and man, I got about 20 feet in, and this snake like jumps out. Okay, it didn't jump, but it wiggled its way out, and luckily I had my gun on me, and I didn't know, like, because I couldn't tell if it was poisonous or anything. I fucking completely missed this darn thing. I shot like 3 shots into the fucking ground. But yeah, I don't like snakes at all.
Yeah, me either. And the last time we were in Florida, my dad killed a 8-foot rattlesnake out there, and I was just like, damn. Actually, hold on one second. In case you guys want to know what an 8-foot. Now it's been cut in half, but here, let me. And I actually have some hat bands too and stuff. But let me grab this. This is what I brought back when I was there. And I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Oh shit!
Make a little noise here. It's a little ragged up, but yeah. So that's from an 8-foot diamondback rattlesnake in Florida.
Damn.
On our property. But my dad ended up killing that one. And then I killed this one, which is quite a bit smaller. But I made a pretty badass cowboy hat band out of that one. And that's all on our property. So they're definitely around. Rattlesnakes are where me and John are from.
And we are definitely wearing our coordinated cowboy hats. Don with his rattlesnake hat, and me with my bullet hat. While we do this hunting, we're gonna be doing some backwoods Florida redneck shit here, fellas and ladies.
Might even catch me in some jorts.
Now we got chiggers, bro.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We can't do that. We can't do that. We got chiggers where we're at. All right, guys. Well, I think we digressed enough there.
Liberty Goons, we love you all.
Thank you for watching. We love you guys. We are the Liberty Goons, and we are out.